Here we are again, GeezerWoW, GeezerWoW, Geezer World of Warcraft. We are going to re-enter the world with our relatively low level 5 warrior. She is about ready to encounter some real challenges. Reviewing our quest, we only have Go to Moonrage, Corinthius, Moonrage, and Dolinar. Looking at the overall map, we have no Dolinar, but there is a road going south out of Shadowglen. This is the quest that takes us out of the starting area of this zone and gets us involved in the larger game. Up to now, the mobs that we have encountered, if I can jump out of here, have been non-aggressive. But this could change. So we'll run over to the road. We're headed south, as we can see on the mini-map. Passing more beasts. With the yellow names meaning that they can be attacked, but they will not attack us. And again, if it's another player, if it's a horde player flag like that, we're still marked blue if we were to look. The game is normally in our way, so we normally don't want to display it to ourselves. Other players do see it.
I am listening.
Okay, we're headed in the right direction.
Farewell.
So we'll take this quest along with us. If we encounter a horde marked that way, we can attack them. If we do, then we lose our blue, turn to yellow, and any horde can attack us. And it stays that way for at least 5 minutes. Now, at this point, I'm holding down the left and right mouse buttons. And now I'm looking at a number 6 mob that no longer has yellow. This webwood lurker will attack us if we get too close. The distance is called the aggro distance, and the attack is called aggroing the mob. We're going to attack it.
Not enough rage.
Skilling up, get our shout. Two. That cost us quite a bit of health. Get the healing herb. There's someone else that's playing. This level 8 Night Elf Warrior. And there is another quest giver. So we'll head that way and pick up the other quest. Part of this quest chain turns this character to a frog. So, in order to get the quest, since the players that are just around it triggered that stage of the quest, we'll have to wait a little bit, a minute or so, for Zen Foulhoof to revert to his ugly self so he can pick up his quest. I could just go back and pick it up later. There we go. It would be nice to pick it up now. Don't touch me! He wants us to collect 3 Nightsaber fangs, 3 strigged owl feathers, and 3 swatches of wedwood spider silk. Okie dokie. But first, we'll proceed toward Dolinar. Now that big thing, the Ancient Protector, is harmless to us. Attacks in this zone are pretty rare from the Horde, so I don't know if it will attack Horde players or not. There are quite a few quests in this area. There's a mailbox. Mailboxes are usually associated with inns, and inns will be rest areas. You see the 5 up by this shield, and it'll turn into Z's when we're in an inn or a capital or that sort of rest area. And I see the innkeeper is the turn-in. Now, I have used the Hearthstone one time to go back to the starting area of this zone, but with all these quests in this area, and since we're pretty much finished with the starting area,
my goods are of the highest quality.
After I turn this in, and I'll take water.
Till next we meet.
Get a little bump, and
the loon be with
I will make this
Good
in
luck,
my home.
friend.
It
Can
also
I assist you?
gives a little tutorial on what an inn is for. Well rested much more quickly than you would in the wilderness. Well rested means we'll get a little bar over our experience bar, and it will move to the right as rest accrues, getting ahead of the experience bar. It'll move very, very slowly as long as we're in an inn or a capital. And by very slowly, I mean it'll take a couple of days to get off the bar.
Elune, light your path.
But after that, when we attack mobs, for every kill, we'll get double the experience, although the cursor for the, there it is, the rest cursor will not move. When the experience bar catches up again with the rest cursor, then you feel normal will display instead of you feel rested, and that kind of experience will be back to 100% instead of 200%. However, if we complete a quest and get experience from that, both the blue XP bar and the resting cursor will move the same amount to the right. That gives us an advantage in getting experience through quests.
What brings you here?
230. So they both move together, and it was a pretty good bump. Now fill another file and take it to Dolinar.
May the stars
So I get another Jade file at the Starbreeze, and I'm not at the Starbreeze Moonwell. And at this point, I don't even know where it is. We introduce another advanced concept: professions. This particular animal is a hunter's pet. Yellow Eyes is the hunter. If I can, there we go. Hunters can tame pets, and the pets will work with them. That's why the pet has a blue name tag. Supplies, a vendor would sell anything I have to sell, but right now, oh yes, just these two things. So I get a little bit more copper, and since I'm a level 5, I think that's the minimum level for training in most professions. I can acquire the cooking profession. This is a generally useful profession for any class. For one thing, it allows a player to make his or her own buff food. Those are foods that will allow extra numbers in these categories. Boost spirit or intellect or strength or something. So I'm going to train. It's going to cost nearly a full silver. And along with that, I will get a recipe if I want to pay 10 pennies for spice bread. In case I get more later, I'm thinking about getting this, but I'll have to buy the ingredients if I want to use the recipe now. So I think I'll wait. But I'll take this quest that the cook offers.
Hello.
Collect small spider legs. So I have 6 more to collect, and I will get a free recipe, but I'll have to have cooking 10 to use it. I may have to invest later in spice bread to get 9 more levels, but I'll accept it for now and worry later. After I've looted more and may have a little bit more cash. So we've accomplished one profession, and now we're getting some rest. I'm going to press the P key for the spell book, and I notice, having gotten cooking, I have the ability to make a campfire, and I'll just drag that ability onto a button, and I have the cooking ability. I'll drag it over here, and now if I click on the cooking ability, there are 3 things I can make right now. These things are all marked in red, meaning that if I do any of them, for each herb, for instance, herb baked egg that I cook, I will increment my cooking skill by 1 point. So in order to benefit from the recipe in my quest, I need to cook 9 more things to get up to level 10. I can use from the wolf, from the boar, or from these eggs. In this zone, these eggs will come from the strigged owls. There are no wolves in this zone, but there are boars. And so now I'll go ahead and load up quests so that
with you.
I can work off more than one quest at once. The mobs I begin to encounter now
Can I assist you?
will be more complex.
Goodbye.
They will be able to gang up on me.
Allah.
This is interesting. I can consider professions to take. Right now I am a solo character and in need of money. There are 3 professions every player can acquire. They are cooking, first aid, and fishing. All the rest of them, each character can have any 2, but to get a different one, a third, the character has to drop one of the 2 that he or she has started with. So it's useful before one spends much effort in skilling up in a profession to take some time and decide which profession. Because vending and selling things is useful, and because in this zone there are herbs and there are skinnable beasts, I want to try herbalism and skinning. I think there is an herbalism trainer, and when I click that, I see there is the herbalism trainer. So I'm going to do that.
Friend.
Leap. Apparently the trainer is in this little house.
Greetings.
And it's going to cost me 10 copper. And I get the warning. But I've considered it. So I will take herbalism. Now I have the option of finding herbs on my mini-map. They will show up as little gold dots or little yellow dots. Any guard that, when you hover, shows a scroll will be able to direct you to anything that an area holds.
I am honored.
Skinning outside his zone on the road to Darnassus. If I use the large map, I can see where I need to go for skinning. Now I happen to remember from before that skinning requires a skinning knife, not just any knife, but a particular knife for skinning. It's not expensive, but one has to find it. Don't know if this vendor would have it. Nope. But here is the warrior trainer. But I don't need her now because I don't think doesn't hurt to check.
Hello.
But typically, if it's not an even number, I won't have added any. But I passed number 4. So I will acquire nearly a silver for charge and nearly another silver for rend, which leaves me low on cash.
Farewell.
But before I proceed, I'll do a P and note that arms gives me charge. And rend. This is going to require 10 rage, and that simply requires being within a certain distance of a mob. The fury ability is still just the shout. The up arrow over the exclamation point lets me know I need to go up the stairs. It's rather too early for first aid. It'll cost, and I don't have very much. Trade supplies.
Hello.
Skinning knife. It takes most of what I have left. So now I'm left with 4 cents. As long as the skinning knife is in my bag, I can skin. And now I already see a silver leaf, an herb beneath me. I'll get this quest and see if I can't find that herb.
I am honored.
Another reference to Starbreeze.
Good luck, friend. Ishnuala.
And Fellow Rock.
Go in peace.
Like I was saying, if you get close enough to an ordinary mob, it will aggro and it will attack you. That situation we had earlier with the grells running past us. If you're in an area where the mobs will attack you, instead of running past you, they will gang up on you. That can kill you in a big hurry. Have to run around the tree But there it is, sparkling. That is a silver leaf. Right click, and now I have a silver leaf in my bag. I have 3 of them, as a matter of fact. I have 10 open bag slots, and I gained a point in herbalism. Now I'm going to target, I better target the Night Stalker, because the Night Stalker will aggro, but I'm using the 3. It's white and not gray, and so pressing 3 immediately gives me some fury, some rage. Pressing 4 puts a bleed. Pressing 2, as before, does the heroic strike. To skin, first you have to loot. It says skinnable, but I don't have the skinning skill yet. So I think what I need to do is go down to the road and then west until I can find the skinning trainer. Being chased by a spider. That happened because I was in aggro. Put up my shout. Bleed. Heroic strike. And I have one of the silks. I'll charge. Bleed. Heroic strike. Heroic strike. Two again. And it's a gray, but I can get I can vend it for something. And these guardians, the huntress and her 2 companions, moon priestess, not only is she a quest giver, but she and her 2 lieutenants patrol this road. Occasionally, a mob will wander into the road within their aggro, and they will pounce on the mob. That's occasionally useful. Let's see an herb. If you're in trouble and run toward a guardian of some sort, or a guard, if you can draw the mob within their aggro, they will take the mob on for you. And that can save your bacon. I'm going to attack the spider. That raises my aggro. I mean my rage. Bleed. Heroic strike. I'm taking poison, but there's not much I can do about it. Heroic strike. Except kill as quickly as possible. So I have 3 of the 7 legs and 2 of the 3 silks. And I'm going the wrong direction. There we go. And I'm encountering a whole passel of people, including a hunter with a strigged owl pet. And since I can't profit by the skinning of them, I prefer to leave beasts alone. The skinnable beasts. Spiders are not skinnable, and owls are not skinnable. Pretty much what sorts of things you might expect would be skinnable are skinnable. He's a little bit bigger than I am, but no profit in fighting with him, and so I'm just going to continue running. I'm using the numlock key, and he'll give up and run back. Meanwhile, leave the path for a silver leaf. Barely see sparkling through this little bush. Uh-oh. A 6. Bleed. Bleed is a damage over time ability. It adds 25 damage right away, but then it continues to add damage. Damage over time is sometimes simply abbreviated DOT. And now I'm a 4 in herbalism. Now, the level of herbalism that I have determines what I can gather. You'll notice here when I hover this major oil that under it says in red herbalism. That means I am not high enough level in herbalism enough for it. If I right click, I see that it requires herbalism 50. So I'm a long way from there. There's another peace bloom. I can get that right away. And I think I'll charge this spider as soon as it gets within. There it is. Renew the shout. Bleed. Heroic strike. This is an 8, so I might be in trouble. Heroic strike. And I'm definitely in trouble. Well, that was a bad decision. So, release my spirit. Now on the map it shows me where my corpse is. I'm close enough to Darnassus that I can see Darnassus. In fact, that's where the cemetery is, where I resurrected. I haven't actually resurrected yet, I've just loosened my spirit. But I can go in that general direction. As I travel, and this is a faster travel than other classes have, this wisp. As I travel, I can see the structures in the game, but until I get relatively close to my corpse, I cannot see the mobs. When I do get closer to my corpse, still in black and white, I will see the mobs. Not sure which is the better way to go around this tree. Still have to do things like hop. All the regular motion buttons work just the same as they ever did. And I don't have to be right on top of it to resurrect. I can therefore, at least some of it, most of the time hopefully, find a safe place at some distance from the corpse to resurrect. For instance, now I'm close enough I can see that level 8, and now I can resurrect, but I sure don't want to. Instead, I'll go beyond it. I can use the other map to see where the heck I am. Alas, I'm afraid I'll probably have to leave this herb alone. Sort of waiting for him to get out of the way. Resurrect and head back the way I came. That was the Mage Royal. I guess for now I'll just leave these herbs alone because I'm a lowly 5. Without thinking about it adequately, I attacked a level 8 mob, in other words 3 levels above me. That's pretty much the limit of the reach for a while. This is a 6, but I waited too long and I didn't get the charge. If he starts attacking me, I lose the ability to charge. Cannot be used in combat. So left click, 2. And head for the road. I see the lights, they make it easier to find the road sometimes. And I see a little bridge. And I haven't explored anything on the map to give me new map details yet. There's a level 80. He's so high they don't even, at that level, that's a 7. That would be pressing it. I don't have enough confidence. A level 80 can run right through a level 5 and not aggro it. If you're above the level of a mob, you can get closer to it before it will aggro. If you're below, it will aggro at a greater distance. This sentinel, she's a level 8, but if I were to be chased, in my case, by that level 8 spider, somehow I missed the skinning trainer, and a guardian such as her is on the road, and I run toward her, and the mob chases me close enough to her, she will attack it. And of course, with a level 8 and a level 5 attacking the mob will be overwhelmed pretty quickly. Here we go. See if I can pick up this peace bloom while I'm in the neighborhood. Maybe not. See that level 8 spider. There's my skinning trainer. And this is a leatherworking trainer.
Ishno del Diab.
I've sort of put myself in a hole. I'll need 10 copper and I only have 4, so I will have to come back. And it's still not on the map, and I don't really need or want to go too far off the road in an effort to get it onto the map. I'll pay less attention to skilling up these brand new professions and more attention to getting to a place of safety and getting it to a place where I can sell That would get, well, that would give me plenty. If I encounter a vendor, sometimes there are vendors on the road, I can sell some of my junk for enough coin to train. That's another guardian. Ancient protector. And vendors.
Greetings.
$26.
Farewell.
Now we are in Darnassus. Darnassus is a capital. I'm going to right click on the, press M by the way to bring up the map. Right click on it. It shows the entire continent. Teldrassil is where it is the starting zone. Shadowglen is the starting area. Dolinar is the next city. Darnassus is where I am now. Press M again. There is another warrior trainer right here. And ahead of me is a bank. The way a bank works is that you get a set of slots that work just like bag slots. You can move contents of the bag slots into bank slots. Once you run out of bank slots, there are additional slots for additional bags that you can purchase. I doubt if I have any mail.
Peace be with you.
And I'm using that, I'm not using that, but I would like it for later. And I think 5 small spider legs. I can't remember. I think some of that is used. I'm using that. It's in a quest. That's a quest thing. This is a quest thing. This is a quest thing. But I should gather these herbs and sell stacks later. So that frees up 3 of my bag slots. So now I have 11.
Denadris.
And there are 2 turn-ins here, as I recall. I'll do an L. Oh, I thought oh, it was just to go on the road to get that. I was totally wrong. I did not have any quests that actually ended here. There's also a fishing trainer, but I can't deal with that without some more money. And for money, I need to get skinning, so back I go. I want to take a look at my weapons trainer. It would be nice to have another ranged attack. I don't have any ranged attack except possibly for charge. I have to be within 25 yards. But later, when I get a few more coin,
How may I help?
I could train bows and I could train thrown. That's expensive. 10 silver, 950. But
Goddess, watch over you.
it allows engaging mobs at considerable distance. So it will be very useful. It would be useful now, but since I'm penniless or near, it won't be that useful yet. So let's go back and finish this skinning profession gaining. I just used numlock. Might as well steer toward the opening. The capital cities have inns as well, and so you can set a hearthstone in a capital, and it's often quite useful. I'm just sitting back and using the right mouse button to steer. There's the house.
How may I help?
So, 10 copper. And I have the ability.
Farewell.
Earthroot might still be out of my range of skill. 7. You're right at the edge. I'm feeling cocky, so I'm going to charge the 7. So what I'm doing now is with my left hand, I'm poising over the 3. And with my right hand, I'm pressing both the left and the right buttons. And as soon as I get in range, then I'll do a 4. Then I'll do the Alt 3. And then every time it procs, I'll use the 2 to do the heroic strike. Well, I'm quite surprised I was able to get in there and do it. See, it's red. I can't do Earthroot. If I actually click on it, it'll tell me what I need. I think it may be a 10. It's a 15. But it seemed like over here there was There was another herb, I think it was a silver leaf. Oh, I don't know, maybe not. I'll mess around just a little bit more. I guess not, but oh, that's a level 8. I'd better leave that alone. That's an 8. I'm in dangerous area here. But there is a silver leaf, and there's an earth root, and there's an earth root. So, and there's an 8 humanoid. If I can get past that spider, I should go this way to try to get back to the road. The spider may have an ability to slow me down, so just running from it might not be effective. There's that untouchable earth root. And there's the road. As a general rule, if you're a lower level, especially if you're a lower level in the zone, you should stick to the roads, because mobs usually avoid the roads. Sometimes they wander close enough so that if you're at a especially low level, you'll aggro them. And they might even wander into the road. And there are guardians and protectors that help keep the roads clear of mobs. And as you play, from time to time, you'll see that happen, that somebody just runs over and starts whacking at a mob that just got too close. Both of them non-player characters. There is a level 6. I'm using my right 2 buttons and hovering with my left over the 3. There it goes. Bleed. Shot. Heroic Strike 2. Loot, and then skin. And now I am skilling up and skinning. So we're nearly at level 6, but I think now we'll hearth back and rest a bit. This time back to Dolonar. If I don't have to be anywhere right away, when I get to a resting place, I like to go to an anvil. You see the hover? That's a vendor that can also repair your armor. Oops.
Feel free to browse.
And check to see if I have any repairs, and make them if I do. For lower levels, repairs are rarely necessary. But as you level up and just clashes with mobs, your armor will wear. And when it does, it'll eventually wear to the point where it's no good anymore. Before that happens, you'll see a warning little paper doll up under your mini-map that shows the particular items and how much they've worn. They turn redder. But if you periodically right-click on the anvil of an anviled vendor to repair them, that won't happen. You don't have to worry about it. So from here, as luck would have it, I have absolutely nothing to sell.
Del Nadris.
Next thing to check is quests in Alameth, wherever that is. I can bring, I'll bet that's south of here because it just came from north. So I have an idea of where my quests are. I just went west, so if I go east, that may be where Starbreeze Village is. And I have the Z's, and I couldn't sell anything. So I'm good. I think it's time for me to exit the game. And I'll see you all next time.